for joining me. Yeah, I just picked up the DJI NEO from Argos, £169. It looked like a bit of fun with all the different modes. In fact, I've been reading the instructions for it. It's got palm takeoff, palm landing, it's got all preset modes, follow modes, all without having to use a phone or a controller, which sounds really interesting. I know you're asking, why didn't I pick up the Fly More pack with the controller and batteries? Well, that's simple. Having a Mini 4 means I've already got the RC2 controller, and I picked up the RCN2 controller not too long ago, so I've got a choice. In fact, the RC2 controller, if I just show you this, has just had an update, as you can see on the screen, showing the NEO. Just came up, as it would happen, as I turned the controller on, it went, there's an update for the DJI NEO. So I thought, great, I might as well update the controller as well. So I'm going to pair that to the NEO once I have got it out the box and shown you. So literally another few minutes and I'll be out the box and we'll take a look at what's in there. So let's break the seal, as you have to do with all DJI stuff these days, and rip open the tab. Is it that tab? That never works, does it? Never works. Let me just grab something to stab it with. There we go. Alright, so with that broken, what have we got? So just inside is literally just the NEO itself, and then you've got a box with, what's in here? This is going to be spare props, is it? Usually it's spare props. Yeah, a set of, oh, it's a 3-bladed prop. That's good to know. Screwdriver and USB-C lead, as you normally would get with these. Nothing else in there, is there not? An empty box in there. And of course, usual manuals and stickers and stuff you get pretty much with every DJI pod these days. So let's take the cover open and take it out. And I can't believe how small this is, you know, it's literally fit on the palm of your hand. It's got all the bumper guards around it as well. I've seen these flying into trees and walls and all sorts and coming away completely and utterly unharmed. Battery, I'm guessing, yep, just unclipped. God, there's no weight in that battery whatsoever. Absolutely no weight in that at all. It just clips nicely back in again. Yeah, it's quite a nice little lightweight unit, that. It's going to look nice with some red decals on, like the Mini 4 that I've got. Right, okay, so it says we're going to have to charge this first of all, because there's a good chance the battery's going to be in hibernation mode. So you have to take that off first of all. Then I'll grab a charger lead. And what I'll do is I'll grab the amp meter and we'll see what sort of voltage it draws while it's charging up. It does say the batteries might be in hibernation mode. So I'm going to just put that down there, plug that in, and we are charging at 5 volts at 0.33 amps. You can see that there, and the charging lights are there. So this is currently, I say, slow charging. I'll have a play. I've got other chargers as well that I can have a play with to see whether or not I can get it to charge any quicker. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave that to charge up and we'll be right back. Okay, just a brief date to the charging situation. It's now climbing now to 4.88 volts and at 1.5455. Sorry, this won't focus very well. 1.5455. I did just try this. This is the Mini 2 fast charger, and it just didn't like that whatsoever. It seems to prefer USB-C to USB-C chargers as opposed to the USB-A to USB-C. So I will have a play with charging and see which one charges it the best, but it says you can't charge it in the instructions at more than 15 watts. So that's just charging now, so we'll leave that and see what we do when we get back. Right, so it's all charged up. I used this, an Apple iPad Mini 6 charger, and it took an hour to charge. I did try this. This is a DJI Mini 2, and this fast charges the batteries in the Mini 2, but it doesn't even light the lights on the NEO, so I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Right, now obviously the next thing to do is check for updates for its software. If it's been in the box for a while and there has been updates, then it will require updates. So I'm going to plug it into the Assistant and we'll see if it requires updating. So before I plug it in, I just want to point out there's no SD card slot on the DJI NEO. It has 22 gigabytes of inbuilt storage, and you connect it to your computer with a USB-C lead, I'm guessing. We'll plug it into the computer now when I plug it in for the software, and we'll see what happens with it. So I've downloaded the DJI Assistant 2 Consumer Drone Series software. I didn't have it installed already, and it didn't pick up the quad, so deleted it and downloaded a new copy of it. Going to turn the quad on. Wait for it to boot up. And then plug in the lead. As I thought, when you plug it into the computer, it does actually launch an internal storage. Mine's listed as I, yours will obviously be CDE, etc. But from here you've got your DCIM folder for your video footage, so hopefully we'll go back and investigate that in a later video when I start doing some actual recording. The software now finds the quad, there we go, and it's showing DJI NEO, which is good. I'm going to go into there, and it's got a no-fly zone database. Well, we're going to confirm that because it's DJI removing a lot of no-fly zones in preparation for the new EU laws that are coming in, and I think they're removing a lot of them because EU will be then specifying files that will go onto the quad somehow. I'm not quite sure how that particular part works. Okay, so I'm going to try and now pair these two together. Click on Connection Guide. I'm going to choose DJI NEO. Firmware version inconsistent. That's because I think this is the RC, and the RC2 needs updating. So I'm going to click on Continue. New firmware available. Right, so I need to update my controller as well as the app to work with the NEO. So this is 0207 0000. Okay, so I came out of that one, didn't we? Let's go back into it again. Continue. Update. Download. Right, let's leave that to run for a minute. Right, so now hopefully after probably 10 minutes it took to update this RC2 controller. Fingers crossed, we are now ready to pair them together. So let's power on the NEO. Go into Connection Guide. I'm going to choose the DJI NEO. Oh, are you absolutely kidding me? What's inconsistent? I've just updated you. Firmware update in approx 1 minute. Firmware updated. There we go. Relink device to aircraft if device restarts automatically. Okay. So we now need to relink them now. So if we go into camera view, hopefully, fingers crossed, this should now link. Yes, it has, and it now wants me to go to the activation stage. So let's activate this then. So we're going to click on agree, and it's going to do some activating. In case you're wondering, by the way, how I'm showing the controller on OBS, you can output now from USB-C to HDMI, which I've just been doing. So this is the DJI Care Refresh, which I've got to activate. So I'm not going to do it through the controller. I'm going to go on the web page and do all this. Right, so that's DJI Care Refresh activated. I've just been playing with this. If I just tilt it sideways, you can see it holds its... The camera stays completely... Even if it goes pretty much... Oh, there we go, there's a limit. If it goes to about there, it stays absolutely level, the camera. It's not got a 3D gimbal, so I'm assuming it's using processing to keep it all level like that. That is absolutely brilliant, that. So what we'll do, we're going to just fly it on the desk. Let's see what it sounds like when we start it up. Let's just put that to one side there. Let's start the motors.
Take off.
Oh, that was so cool, that. It just hovered just literally a foot off the desk. Okay, that's this video completed then. We are going to be ready to come back in part 2 when I have a look at all the different flight modes and stuff. But first I've got to read the instructions, which is here. And as you can see, there's quite a lot to it. It's, how many pages is that down to the bottom there? Let's have a look. I think we're on for page 86. There's 86 pages and there's quite a lot to cover. Flight safety, flight operation, palm control, mobile app, RC control, and the NEO itself, flight modes, also landing, vision system. There's so much I'm going to read through this because everything is, well, you can control everything obviously from the quad itself. You don't need to have it linked to a controller or anything. So I suppose I better get reading.